On today's video, we're going to tell you all about some of the mistakes home buyers in the Raleigh, North Carolina area keep making over and over and over again. Hello everyone, this is Chris Morton, real estate broker with the Morton Bradbury Real Estate Group. And the first mistake we see home buyers making in this area, they focus too much on new construction and they don't even bother looking at resale homes. So we understand it, especially first-time home buyers. They get fixated on the bling of new construction. They get scared of resale homes because they think it's going to be a money pit, that there's going to be constant repairs and that everything is going to go wrong. Meanwhile, they think that new construction is going to be perfect, no problems at all. Well, by excluding resale homes, you are eliminating a very large percentage of the available homes out there to buy from your search parameters. It's like you're tying two hands behind your back and you're trying to play ping pong. Probably not going to work out too well. And yes, we get it. New construction in general is a little bit easier to move into. The builder is going to fix the majority of the problems that are found on your home inspection. There's a side hint, always make sure you get a home inspection even with new construction. But know that homes that are resale homes aren't all bad. There's a good number that are built in the last 3-4 years that might as well be new. They still have very young heating and air systems, young roofs, all of that sort of thing. You're still going to get an inspection. If there is any defect, any flaw, it is very likely the seller is going to fix that for you if you have a good agent like someone on my team, for example. Now, the other group of resale homes that a lot of people get scared of and absolutely eliminate, even if they are looking at newer resale homes, the ones they eliminate are those fixer-uppers. Those are the homes that need a lot of work. And we say it all the time in these videos. Don't be afraid of a fixer-upper. We have a long list of vendors that can help you get that home ready. Let's say, for example, you want to replace out your countertop. Well, we have a really nice company that will do that work. The sellers generally are going to let you come in the house with that vendor, measure for the countertops. You can go ahead and be planning which countertops go in, and literally the day of closing, the countertop people can be in there installing your brand new countertops. Same with paint, same with a fence outside. All of that work isn't something you have to wait to get going with until after you close on the house. Generally, you can get those items estimated while you don't even own the house yet. And the best news of all about a fixer-upper, generally you're going to be able to get that house for less money than you will a new construction or one of those newer model homes we talk about that look great that are a resale home. Take that money difference that you would have paid for that model home or that new construction home and put it into personalizing the fixer-upper to be your dream home. That's something we recommend all the time. Plus, the other side benefit of those fixer-upper homes, no one else is looking. You're not having to pay high exorbitant due diligence fees. You're not having to compete against other buyers. You have a free, open, clear runway to land your plane in Happyville. The next big mistake we see buyers make over and over again these days, overpaying for homes. Buyers have gotten so used to having to compete with other buyers that they just instinctively think they're going to have to massively overpay for a home. Right now in early 2023, homes are still moving very rapidly, but there's not a ton of buyers out there yet out there competing. So just because you think you have to overpay for a home doesn't necessarily make it so. Our team spends a lot of time analyzing the housing market, looking at specific homes that our clients like, and can help them decide, is this going to be a home you have to be competitive on, or is it something you maybe don't have to be competitive on? One true sign that you can use to determine how competitive a home is going to be in general is the days on market number. And this is something you can find both on our multiple listing service, also on Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com. It's a number that's basically how long the home has been actively on the market, being marketed by the sellers. As that number creeps up beyond 21 days, that's when a listing is going to get stale and fewer buyers are going to be looking at it because they're like you. They're going to assume there must be something wrong with the house or it would have sold by now. Well, those homes are not homes you're going to generally need to overpay for. You may actually be able to pay under asking price for those homes. Again, my team analyzes this data all the time, each day, every day, to make sure our buyers get the very best deal we can get them. And along those lines, another mistake we see buyers make all the time, paying too much for due diligence. And again, just as a quick refresher, due diligence is money that goes to the sellers as a sort of an option fee to take the home off the market and give you, the buyer, the opportunity to decide if you want to buy that home or not. Buyers have been so trained by the media, by their friends who bought 2 years ago, that you've got to pay $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 due diligence. That's simply not the case anymore. Unless a home is brand new with a lot of offers, you don't have to use due diligence money as a way to make your offer look competitive. And again, quickly refreshing you on this, the 3 ways really that you can make your offer competitive is your asking price, the date you're wishing to close, and your due diligence amount. If there's multiple offers on a house, you may have to pay over asking price. You may have to have a higher due diligence fee than the norm for that area and for that neighborhood. And you may have to accelerate or slow down your close date. Anything you can do to make the seller happy, those are things you're going to have to do. But in general, don't assume you're going to have to pay a fortune in due diligence fees to the seller just because you're used to doing it or you've heard that's the way things need to be. Another mistake that we're seeing buyers make right now is thinking it's a strong buyer's market and the buyers hold all the cards. So granted, yes, things have definitely shifted back towards the buyer's favor in the last few months when interest rates went up. That took a lot of buyers off the market, out of the buyer pool. And where's this buyer pool? And is it a giant pool or is it a tiny little kiddie pool? I've always wondered. But anyway, the buyer pool. Buyers got out, and the few buyers that were left in were not generally having to compete very often on houses. And so those buyers that were left in the buyer pool were also watching the news, hearing how the market is going to crash and it is a buyer's market now. And so they sort of got this false sense of security and awesomeness about themselves that they could offer way under asking price. They could demand all these extravagant, crazy terms to the sellers, and the sellers would accept it. Well, unfortunately, it's not really that way. It's gone from really being a strong seller's market in 2021, early 2022, to being more of a balanced market now, I would say. Yes, there's less buyers out there, but there are homes that are still selling very, very quickly within hours or just a couple of days with multiple offers. Just know that we're in a balanced market right now and you have to act accordingly. Again, looking back on those days on market to determine if a home is brand new on the market and getting a lot of showings and demand, or if it's gotten stale and has been sitting for a while. The next mistake we're seeing buyers make these days, staying in a rental. We understand if you are renting right now, you probably have in your mind that you need to save up a ton of money to be able to afford to buy a house because home prices are going up and up and up, or that you're waiting until the market's going to crash and then you're going to get in out of the rental market into the buyer pool. Well, based on everything we continue to see, it does not look like there's going to be a crash. It looks like we're going to continue on the way we're going, where things are kind of trudging along and it's more of a balanced market. So I don't know that renting is such a great idea if you're waiting for a crash. As well, I do continue seeing prices are accelerating and continuing to go up as far as the appraised value on homes go. So I don't really see that waiting to save a certain amount of money is going to particularly benefit you. Our advice is talk to a mortgage person. Find out exactly how much money you actually do need. There are programs out there where you don't really have to put that much money down. It may be better for you to stop renting now and go ahead and get in and purchase a home with a lower down payment. And that way you at least are building equity and you're having something that's yours versus renting where you are paying a mortgage, you're just paying the landlord's mortgage. The next big mistake we're seeing buyers make in the Raleigh area is not calculating drive times. We've had quite a few people contact us that had been past buyers of ours who are now deciding they need to move because it's too far of a drive from where they bought to their job, or maybe they've had a change of circumstances where they used to be work from home, but now they need to go into an office somewhere. And so now they're needing to sell their homes and buy another home. This is a common thing that happens to a lot of buyers. Life circumstances change. One of the things you can do to kind of smooth this over or eliminate this problem is once you find a home that you really, really like, but before you even buy it, do a navigation from your potential new house to your place of employment and see how far that is. See if you're comfortable with that drive time. Obviously, you really want to do it at 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. to see what that's going to do to impact your day. If it's too far of a drive for you, if you're too uncomfortable with that drive, then maybe consider moving somewhere else. And just as a tip, if you don't have a need to go anywhere right now, maybe you want to go ahead and do that navigation thing I just told you about anyway. Nav yourself to Research Triangle Park, or maybe the airport, or someplace you go frequently like Costco or Trader Joe's. See how long that drive is and make sure you're comfortable with it. You just don't want to get in a situation where you bought a house 6 months ago and now you have to turn around and sell it. The next mistake we see buyers make over and over again is avoiding neighborhoods that have an HOA. So we get calls literally every day from people wanting to move to our area and wanting to buy a home, and a good number of them say, I want you to help me buy a home, but I don't want to be in an HOA neighborhood. And we completely understand these folks' concerns. You want to have full control of your house. You don't want someone micromanaging you. And if you remember that commercial from a few years ago, the HOA lady was coming along and the folks' hedge was this tall, over tall, and they had to cut it down with some scissors and all of that stupidity. We understand that's not something you want to experience, but know there's a lot of benefits to being in a neighborhood with an HOA. Number one, it's going to prevent cars up on blocks from your neighbors. It's going to keep your home values pretty strong. Beyond that, please know our HOAs here in the Raleigh Triangle area, they're not as crazy strict in general. There's probably some exceptions to this rule, but in general, they're not as strict as what you may have in your home city or you may have heard rumors about. They basically leave you alone. You may have to go get approval from the Architectural Review Committee if you want to paint your door, paint your house, that sort of thing. But they're not going to micromanage you, and they're certainly not going to harass you about whatever you're doing inside the home. Beyond that, no, just like if you were only focusing on those new construction homes and forgetting about the resale homes, please know that if you do that same thing with non-HOA versus HOA, you're going to eliminate a tremendous number of homes. Again, we have a very, very, very small available pool of homes for you to even buy in the first place. If you eliminate neighborhoods that have HOAs, you're probably going to cut out 60, 70, 80% of the homes that are out there to buy. That's going to dramatically limit you in your ability to find the home of your dreams, because unfortunately the home of your dreams may be associated with an HOA. So if you're considering a move either into or out of the Raleigh area, my real estate team and I would love to be your agents of choice. You can call us on the number below, click on the link in the description, or email us at hello@mortonbradbury.com and we'll get things started. Like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Check out this video. We think you're really, really going to like it. And with that being said, we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.